When did you last go onto Facebook? She asks. The sniffing has stopped. 3, 4 weeks ago, maybe? OMG! That long ago? I only look at Facebook to check up on you, and as you've blocked me, what reason do I have for wasting time on social media? Oh, Mum, you're such a loser. Thank you, darling, I sigh. I'm used to the derogatory comments. I'm out for a drink with a friend, so if you don't mind, you need to change your password. I'll refriend you. I will change my password tonight, I promise. Bye, darling. The evening loses some of its sparkle after the conversation with Mel. I stare at the way Ben's lips move, the thin top lip eking out a little to the side, twitching slightly as if a tiny nerve is caught. Faded acne scars on his neck are like minuscule pockets, probably miserable reminders of his youth. Would you like to come? Sorry? I say. I haven't heard the beginning part of the question. You're upset about something your daughter said. It's quite all right. Why don't we reschedule? I was wondering if you'd be free to join me at the theatre on Friday evening. I take my phone from my bag and pretend to look at the calendar. Of course I am free. Fridays through to Sundays are wide, painful, gaping holes of loneliness. Whenever possible, I grasp the opportunity to do weekend shifts at work, but those opportunities have faded away over the past few months. Cuts, layoffs, reduced pay, all perfectly normal in this era of Brexit. Thank you. I put my phone on the table. That would be lovely. How very civilised. I can't remember the last time I went to the theatre, or even the cinema for that matter. He polishes off his beer and gently places the glass back onto the table. I finish my white wine and we grin at each other awkwardly. He offers to drive me home, but I decline. It is, after all, only our second date, and I'm not sure if one quick drink even counts as a date. Home used to be an airy modern house on the outskirts of Cranley. It was where Mel grew up, where I tended the garden and made hearty Sunday lunches for Ian and our extended families. Often called the largest village in England, Cranley has it all. M&S on the high street, plenty of quirky independent shops, a village green and a true sense of community, and we were part of it. That was until one Friday evening shortly after Mel turned 14, when Ian announced he had fallen in love with a colleague and wanted a divorce. I begged and wailed and blamed myself. I withdrew. Then I got angry, and eventually, and reluctantly, I accepted our marriage was over, and it was up to me to determine the second half of my life. During the last 2 years, home has been a 2-bedroom top-floor flat in the centre of Horsham. The building used to be a bank, and it still has some of the quirks of its former glory, which were sold to me as a blend of character features and high-quality modern living. The pneumatic tube system winds its way through the communal corridors, now devoid of money and filled up with dust. I miss not having a garden and frequently curse the neighbours for making too much noise or leaving bicycles or prams in the lobby, but it is my little home, and I feel safe there. I have a quaint view over rooftops, and when the sun sets on a late summer's day, I squint my eyes and pretend that the squat church spire is the Duomo in Florence, and the modern grey and brown tiles of the office blocks are the ancient terracotta roofs of Renaissance buildings. I imagine the Ponte Vecchio is just around the corner, and if I so chose, I could take my chilled wine down to the river and watch the mighty Arno weave and flow downstream. The River Arun is perfectly lovely, with its overgrown leafy banks and its resident wild ducks. It's just nothing like my Florentine dream. When I arrive back from my truncated date, I am ravenous. I had assumed that our early evening drink would lead on to supper and perhaps a bit more. Did I eat any lunch? I can only recall munching half a bar of chocolate mid-afternoon. I swing open the fridge door and am greeted by 2 eggs, a 1/4 pint of milk, half a bottle of white wine and a lemon. I groan. Omelette with toast it will have to be. Again. At least when Mel was living at home I made an effort to buy...